everybody, this is Musa again at Musa's Journeys. I know y'all like, man, dude, what you doing at the house again? Well, day starts at the house normally. Well, this morning here, you see this water on the ground. It's not a problem per se. It's just the water tank is finally getting full. I guess I should cut it off. I cut it on this morning. One of the funny things, of course, is we have things like float valves. They're supposed to be up there and working. Well, that one don't work. You just saw that hose twitch because I just cut the power off. Now, all right. No, I keep saying, let me try my best not to make all these vehicles. No, you said vehicles. I know. This girl fired up, ran pretty good yesterday. We saw something that we wanted to check a little deeper into. So a lot of these vehicles, god damn, videos start here at home. And then you go about the rest of my day. Truth be told, today is probably gonna be a light, easy day because this is a test day for this girl. And if everything goes good today, because like yesterday we were testing it, we saw something that had us a little concerned, but thought maybe we were dealing with a cracked head. But by the end of the day, something mysterious happened, and I'm looking that up. So it's new to me. This one's completely new. As I discussed it with a senior mechanic, senior master. Hold on, let me open this up so I can show it to you what's going down. Okay, so as you can see, we took the valve cover back off. Now, for one, this is supposed to be a sealed unit, but we can fire this thing up right now and it runs like a champ. However, when this is completely sealed on here, it runs great for a while. Then all of a sudden, we start to notice that we're heating up. Then that starts to overheat. Then we start to see a oil water mixture happening. Bad sign, especially since we just put the head gasket on, right? Well, and if you look in here, you'll see it. It's down there. Now, I don't know what that camera just helped me see. Okay, that's just a line. Okay. So, anyway, you see it in there. But you know, but here's the funny part, because at that point I was like, well, if I'm doing with a cracked head, let's go full along with the experimentation. We knew that it would run without the hood cover because something happened earlier. So we took the cover back off. Now, yes, I have super torqued these things down, probably more than what they're supposed to be. They said like 44, I think, Newton meters or something like that. Anyway, we didn't put too much on it, but we torqued it again, and I'm probably gonna do it. Try to see if I can get them to move today. But before all that, okay, let's go back to yesterday evening. We took that cover off and cranked it up again, let it run. It ran with no problem and did not get hot as long as this was off. So we were going over it potentially. A hose may be in the wrong place. We did not change these hoses up, but we don't fully understand why they are hooked up the way they are. So there will be some experimentation with taking this off and seeing, because this here tees right into that. Goes right into that. Now, if some people, there used to be, let's talk about that. There obviously used to be a turbo on here. Looks like it. I got hoses that are cut off that look like they were, lines that went to a turbo. If this got rehooked up, and let's just say wrong, and I'm gonna keep looking at diagrams of this engine to see. But if it did get hooked up wrong, this thing could start raising because this was full of water. think it still probably has water now from the second run. Let me double check that real quick. It has water in it, but it ain't full. But it's pretty close. I can touch it. So if I can touch it with that finger, it ain't too far from there. So as it starts to, let water in and out, the thermostat, I'm pretty sure, has been removed. They condemned almost all kinds of stuff on there. I have seen it allow water to flow though. So anyhow, the it could raise up, put water in here, and honestly start introducing water to something that it's not supposed to. So this hose goes from there right into back here. Now, anybody got an idea what that's about? Let me know. This is a Volkswagen T 2.4 liter diesel, the AAB engine for a Transporter T4. Okay. To be honest with you, for what we use it for, it should be able to go back out with no problems. One of the things that I did also, first we just let it run. I hadn't changed nothing yet. All I did was took this off. Now, what's oddly about this is I tried to replace this EGR, right, one time before. Did not work. I replaced it with another one that does not work. So one of the factors is going to probably happen today. If I don't, I would like to just do a lot of testing today, but one of the factors that may happen today is I may take this thing off and go to Genpex or Just One. By the way, when I say Genpex or Just One, guys, just imagine one area is household things that you can repair your home with, wood, lumber, stuff like that. And then right down, I'm talking about you can't even get a good couple of steps in before you hit Just One. Just One is like all automotive uh, shops and dealers. So they're the same to me, and I know this is, I know I need to be getting more custom things here, but to be honest with you, the place is so small. I don't see a difference between Just One, Genpex, and Westfield. So if you hear me say any of those, and I'm talking about a car or a project I'm working on, like building something, I'm talking about somewhere in that area. And for all of those who don't know, let me clarify something. My brother, Uzman, while I was in America, kept telling me, oh yeah, I go to Genpex and find out about this and find out about that. I thought Genpex was a store, a shop. It is not. It's an area that has nothing but a whole lot of shops, okay? So don't think just because, somebody, you may hear us say we went to Genpex to go get something. We may have only went to 2 or 3 shops, but you're talking about an area that has every bit of 100 plus shops. So, you just got to keep going until you find what you're looking for. And then not only that, people are selling what they get shipped into them. So, you may come back in a couple of weeks and there might be something different there. Or by the time they shipment come in, they may have something else there. So, keep that in mind if you come out. Sometimes you may think you feel like, well, man, I can never get this. That's not true. You will probably be able to get it. And there's always Senegal. So, and if you need to go further than that, you always have Nigeria and Ghana. Don't get me wrong, that's a good little piece to go out, but they are they're right in your area. So it's not as hopeless as it sounds. Quick tip that I have learned about some of this stuff is try shipping out of the UK. If you got to connect up there, just so happens I have a sister-in-law that lives in the UK, so there's ways to work things out. And always, if you're coming from the U.S., you have somebody shipping from the U.S. That's just some really expensive shipping and time. Anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all straight out, I'm gonna start trying some stuff with eZone to just let y'all know how real that is about getting things shipped in from the U.S. like eZone. It may work out better in a lot of ways when you start planning this stuff out. But anyway, back to this. So all right, so go back to what we got going on. So the old one is in the bag somewhere. It was cracked down here at the base around these bolts, right? So I called myself thinking, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna replace that. So we replaced this, right? And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm almost thinking in some kind of strange way I created this problem. It was not showing signs of oil and water mixing or running hot before. I'll put that on. Everything was cracked and open. So the seal, it wasn't bringing this. And what's important about that is we may be dealing with, compression gas, back pressure that may be giving us a problem. After this quick little video, this is going to be a quick one. It's already longer than what I wanted it to be. I'm going to go ahead and do some more reading, some more research on this vehicle. And see if you got an improperly functioning EGR valve. By the way, you see that arrow there? You don't want to let float go that direction. Let me see if I can get a better picture of that. Okay? And that hose has vacuum on it. So it's sucking on this thing that way. So it's going, this is doing what it should be doing. Unless it's, yeah. There are questions about it being crimped, but but as you can see, anyway, we'll deal with that later. So, but when you take this thing, and let's say you apply air, like I have done this with my own mouth, pause. Just stop right there. Pause. All right. I blew air through this apparatus to see if air would flow on the other end of this apparatus that's plugged into this case here. I mean, I had it loose, okay? And I felt air pressure hit my hand. That's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be air restricted in here. There is none. You take it and you shake it, you don't hear anything. That's also a sign that this is bad. So I just replaced it with another bad one, basically. So I'm going to go and make sure that EGR valve, let me see some of the symptoms, because the EGR valve could be in this here as well. Well, I'm going to say here, because basically this shouldn't be cracked. Now, so this could be causing us some black pressure issues inside here that may lead to some overheating inside of the engine. Like I said, I cranked this up yesterday. No oil and water mix, as long as that covers off. So we out here this morning. We're going to do it again, let it run for a while. All right, guys. That's pretty much what I'm doing today. I need this girl back out here on the road. I mean, of course, if it goes any further now, we know we got to replace the head. Simple as that. So we've already looking into pricing and stuff on that. Apparently, they're available. They just working out pricing. All right, guys. Another thing, real quick, before we get too far down this road. I believe both hens have produced their chickens. This girl looked like she hatched all her eggs. So we got 10 from the white one over there, white and black. Well. And then you got this other one that looked like a barred rock back here. Let's just call her black, okay? Only 2 of her chicks seem to have birthed. I'm trying to give her a little time because she was still sitting on that clutch of eggs there. But it's like only 2. And they are only a day old and young. And they're right next to her pretty much all the time. I'm looking at one right now. And to be honest with you, the other one, she keeps so tucked well, I can hardly ever see it. So I see one walking to the right of her. And I'm pretty sure the other one is probably under her legs somewhere, but I can't see them. She just keeps that one really guarded. At any rate, what I'm getting at is, guys, let's just say, and I'm just going to put you some numbers I have seen out there, okay? These ain't got to be your numbers. Your numbers could be different from that, okay? These chicks here, I'm letting them do a whole bunch of their own scavenging for their own food, foraging and all that. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that's what I'm doing when we made a compost pile. So we are feeding them indirectly. And so they go around the whole place picking at stuff. Okay, so let's go over the numbers with the chickens first. We bought 3 birds, one, 2 females, and then 1 male that roosted down there, that cock. Pause. Okay. Now, with that being said, the within about a span, because they told us that they weren't laying eggs anymore, and I was like, well, I know a couple little tricks. So we threw a little moringa out. We threw some greens out there. Stuff that we did in the U.S. when winter hit normally in the U.S. or fall, your chickens tend to take a break. So you normally get them like green stuff like lettuce and stuff like that, and they'll send them into egg production. And again, seemed to work here as well. All right. But to be honest with you, there's no point in them ever stopping here other than maybe giving their body a break, because you never get those cold temperatures here. I think the coldest I've ever seen here was like 63, and that was like at 12 o'clock in the morning. So, and that was, yeah, we're entering that time. So here we go. And we're beyond what I had said already. So I guess we'll take this to a 20-minute video. All right. So we bought those 3, $600. Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna put real numbers on you, and I'm gonna start trying to type these things up and put them on the screen so we can see them. What else? Oh yeah, $600. Divide that by 52, and you get the U.S. dollar. Okay. All right. So as you can tell, not much money was spent on them. Okay. Roughly 12 bucks. 12 bucks for 3 birds. Okay. I want you to think about this. Okay. This one has produced 10. If these get all up to healthy ages, we're going to just leave the numbers like they are. We're going to play with some numbers, okay? Try to do it as fast as I can. I'm over here looking at the time. All right, so if all 10 of those, or let's just say 12, all 12 of these guys get up to healthy ages and sizes and alive, okay? That means that they can be sold after they get up to mature age, which shouldn't be nothing but a couple of months down the road at best, okay? We can sell each one of those birds for $1,500 each. 12 times 15, or for easy math and mortality issues, let's just call it 10. Okay? Now, that's probably not a conservative number, but let's call it 10, all right? So that means that you make $15,000 off what you spent in 600. Now, if you do that math, that means what? That off an investment of 12 bucks at the current stage of things. Now keep that in mind, that's the current stage. At the current stage of things, off a $12 US investment, I then now can turn around, and I have seen these on Facebook for that amount, by the way, here. Yes, Facebook is here too. I could turn around and sell these chicks and gain 15,000 off of them, right? Which would mean that I would have gained about something like 200. Is that right? Yeah, something close to $200 US. So from 12 to 200. Okay? That's a pretty high investment ratio there. Now, let's play the game. Uncle Two already know what I was talking about when I said head work. Yeah, I'm trying to see if somebody resurfaces head or has a machine shop here. And he didn't know what I was talking about. I keep forgetting he's not mechanically inclined. Anyway, that's gonna probably take the video a little longer because I'm gonna finish this up. So, all right, real quick. Okay, 32 seconds. Now we're not gonna rush. Okay, we won't go through it slowly. So just imagine you see these guys here. How many of them are female? How many of them are male? Let's just divide the numbers in half. Why don't we? Okay, then. So we got 12. So let's say 6 or 10. 5. Sorry, we got 5. We're gonna subtract 2 out. Okay. So 5 of them are female. So now I got 7 hens. Ah, I see the other chick now. There you go. They look like that one especially looks like the burnt part of the compost pile. Okay. Anyway, um, so let's say you got 7 hens. Well, 7 hens have now the ability to produce 10 if they all hatch again. So you got like 70 chicks, or let me say this right, you have 70 new chicks being born with the 10 that you already have. You have 80. Now, if you don't sell that batch of hens, or you sell only half of them, you see what I mean? Your numbers start to grow very quickly. Okay, we can easily just do hypothetical numbers on there to kind of save the time on the video. But let's just say 70, or what did I say that wrong? 80 again, something like that. No, 77. There you go, 77. No, I forget it. Let's make it 80. All right, so you got 80 hens. So if you sold all those chickens right there for $1,500 a piece, as you see, bam, the math works out. I mean, you're probably like, why you didn't do the math? Don't feel like it right now. If y'all round all this junk up just so you can see the numbers, okay? So if it was 80, let's round it up a whole another 20 and make it 100. 100 times 15 is what, or 1,500. So, it's, oh, goodness gracious. So you see how that can become quick funds. Eggs are a little bit harder, but not really because they always producing eggs. If you had the hens just selling the eggs, I think they said they sell the eggs for like maybe $5 or $10 each. But a lot of times they don't too much like the local breed. These are the local breeds. Even though I don't know why that one is called a local breed, because from what I read about it, it's like a mixture of a broad rock and a few other things. And it even looks like a broad rock when you catch it at certain angles. Um, this guy, on the other hand, I can see that. Oh, girl. Now, that's just the eggs. That's eggs production there. You can sit there and do the math for the year and you start to realize, because honestly, most people can live here in this life, depending on how you want to live, though, with $5,000 or $6,000 a month. Now that's a struggle, but depending on how you want to live. Now, if you want to take it up a notch or two, 7 or 8, you're getting more and more comfortable. Above 8, you're living. Now, divide those numbers by 52, guys, to see those U.S. equivalents, and you'll start to see why a lot of us are telling y'all, get you some money, get a little money together, and get your tail over here. There are groups, there are people, they're like myself and others who are working with each other to help each other grow. Such as we had a gentleman, I'm not going to say his name because, hey, he's advertising. There's a gentleman here. He does plumbing work and installation of appliances. He's African American from the States. I think he's also from the Chicago area. I'm not from Chicago. Bag is. All right, now, I call him out when it's something, especially like if I'm doing something like working on vehicles or doing other things. I call him out. I can't do my own plumbing. Now, I tell you right now, a brother got a bad issue with with sewage plumbing. I'll do it, but good God, I would almost have to. It'd have to be a situation where I just have to. I don't like doing sewage, man. It's just people have asked me in my past, what work you won't do? Well, there's two, but I have done both when I had to. And they're like, what's that? Sewage and working on heights. Don't like working on heights, but I will. Anyway, I have called him out, and no, not for just sewage work. Like, I actually want to install another one of those little faucets that spray you down. Since I don't have bidets here, they have these little nozzles that you take and spray your area, clean everything up. I would like to install maybe 2 of those, one in that back bathroom and another one in the rear bathroom. But at any rate, again, Uncle Rick has always told y'all this: when you come out here, it's all about your level of gab, what you feel like making a deal for. So you can do things here, Now, I agree with them. You need to come here entrepreneurial completely. I wouldn't come here, I'm going to go get a job. I'm not saying you can't get a job, but there's a lot of kickback. And I mean, I'm not going to act like it only happens here. When I was working in Texas, I was driving trucks for people and all of a sudden not get paid. Oh, can you wait till next week? We had a little problem. I'm talking about big companies now. Some of these companies are still around over there in the West Texas area, where now they kind of went through the little, a little through. I think they got a little bit of some things going with oil right now, so they're moving again. You know, there's a lot of mess out there, and I'm not gonna try to act like it happens here and not in the state. It happens, okay? I worked at 3 different jobs back to back, missing checks, missing checks, missing checks. So, but you can just imagine here, you know, the whole pay scale's different. You have to get accustomed to that. I would say come over here, and it don't, if you think I'm tripping, it don't take much. Come over here, uh, get you a plan together, and then make it work. Just make it work. It's not that big of a deal. It's like right now, you see these 2 vehicles here, and I know y'all see them here a lot in the videos, and you're like, well, is your plan working? My plan's working. These here were supplemental. This was the plan. Keep in mind, I want you to think about this thing from a logical standpoint, okay? When you start dealing with inanimate objects, they stop. That Volkswagen Golf will never produce another Volkswagen Golf. It can produce revenue that will get you to be able to buy another one, but it will never produce another one. This transporter will never produce another transporter. It can make you revenue to get another transporter, but it cannot produce it. So follow the guidelines in which God has given us. Animals, plants reproduce themselves. That means that you have a constantly renewing resource. You understand what I'm saying? Even at $5 or $10 an egg, that's feasible income when you start getting up to around 100 chickens. Or you sell a whole chicken for 1,500 and you still got them birthing chickens. Goats. Let's move on. Like I said, where we at? Oh, good God, we're a long video again. But at least this is all one long video kind of upon the same topic matter instead of me clipping in a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, goats normally give you twin births twice a year, about 5.5 months. 5.5 months. You can almost get that one goat there could easily produce you 4 goats. That one. So really 2 because you need a male, okay? But right there, that couple can produce you 4 goats in a year's time. What do you get with that here? These are the breeds that are local here. We call them in the U.S. Nigeria indoors. They give you a milk goat that will give, and by the way, I would say they come in 2 classes, but basically all you got to do is just kind of watch them. If you notice, that male's bigger than that female, and that's typical anyway, but I think his class is more of a meat class anyway. You just look at how the body structure is. She is more of a dairy class. And I think when the kids are born and we see how they all pan out, we'll be able to give you more details on that. The milk production on them, okay? So can you eat them? Yes. They do put on a decent amount of meat for a little goat. Keep that in mind. It's ratio based. It's a little goat. We ate his brother, and we had a guest here at the time. Omar was here. We ate his brother who came out with him, and yeah. Don't get all sappy and simpy on me. Come on, guys. We do eat meat. Let's not play games. Okay. I mean, if you don't eat meat, that's fine. That's your thing. You put me on vegetables, I'm going to the hospital. You know, you may not believe it, but it's real. All right. I've tried it multiple times. Uh, anyway, we ate him, his brother. He had a lot more meat on him, and that one goat lasted about a month, and we were eating goat meat almost every day, almost pretty much every day. So keep that in mind. So if you're integrating other things like fish and stuff of that nature into it, you may have a goat that'll last you 2 months, which almost happened last time. So you have a goat that size, lasts you about a month with a total of 3 to 5 people eating on it daily. Okay? This little girl here can produce 4 of those in a year for you. Okay? Think about that. You get more, which we are working on that. Guy's phone is out of credits or something. Can't get an answer to the phone right now. So at the end of this month here, we'll probably be heading out there to the Jocelyn, so you should get some footage of that. Hopefully, we'll make a pretty good deal with them and bring some on in. But anyway, you're talking about this girl here producing 4 for you. Now, check this out. Goat meat here, much like the U.S., isn't cheap. It ain't, I mean, it isn't cheap, but that's relatively speaking. Now, in the States, you understand the thing like $30 a pound or $36 a pound, depending. Anyway, when you slaughter one of these guys, I'm going to get you on a low number. Expect, I don't know, 10 kilos of meat. Now, keep in mind, man, I am from the U.S. and I got my mama's stomach, so there's certain things I don't eat, okay? They eat a lot of other stuff here. I'm still getting ready to pause ahead of time. Learn how to eat ahead. Don't start no mess with me. Pause. Okay. But besides that, there's a lot of other things in there. I don't deal with too much organ meat. I don't deal with too much. But salable meat, about 10 kilos. So that's about 20 pounds. Yeah, I know. Didn't sound like much. But think about that 20 pounds on a long-term scale. So let's do it by 5 because it's like 2.2 to make we're doing easy math this morning. I hadn't even drunk a juice yet, so we're doing slow math, easy boy math. So let's just call it, what did I say? 5. So 5 times what they sell them at Albacoa at is roughly around $3.50 a kilo. So that one goat there produces you 1 goat. Now the same meat. Now this is if you kill it and sell it, about what 1 chicken would give you. I know it don't sound like much, and it's not much, but those numbers are conservative. So guess what that probably means? Like in the last situation there when we slaughtered that other one, it was like actually that means I only sold half the meat, and the other half I kept for my house. When we do a slaughter here, by the way, we don't actually have the whole animal. There's parts that we give out to the neighbors and stuff like that. So, that number is actually about right. So yeah, we slaughtered that other animal and ate about half of him left over in the house. So, so the numbers really mean they're a little different than what I said. We probably could have got 2 months out of 1 goat. So anyway. So yeah, you see $350 times 5. That gives you about, sorry guys, my back is killing me. You're around 17, something like that. 1,700 a goat. Now, you can take the whole goat, this size goat, walk it right down there to Albacoa or sell it to them folks in Albacoa and probably get you between 3,000 and 4,000 live. Okay? So, which numbers you want to work? I like to give you the 1,500 number, but I know I'm very conservative, so that's what it is. And by the way, the 1,500 number, if you keep hearing me, isn't accurate. It's actually 3,000. So anyhow, you take that number, and you go and we're gonna use the 3,000. Okay? You got 4 of those coming in again, so that's $12,000 per female you have. Okay? You may not be too impressed when you started off with the chickens, but a lot of people don't realize the significance of both. Chickens, sometimes chicks just die. I'm looking at these chickens and they're very healthy, and I'm thinking I'm feeling this whole free range thing. I don't think I think that works really good. It's free ranging. So I've honestly ordered chickens in the States, and I've never seen them come out this healthy. I mean, these chickens, look at these chicks. I think y'all can see them in the video, right? As far as I am away. Let's see if I can zoom in. Oh, I can zoom in today. Look at them chicks. Those chicks were way smaller than that, you know, only a couple of days ago. They doing their thing. Also, the feed quality out here. Just the grass alone is a lot of stuff that you pay an arm and a leg for in states. So, all right, then. Like I told you, that produces some more of itself. That produces more of itself. Soon we'll be done with the fish. Okay? Quick numbers on the fish. Shoot, we got a long video out of this by accident. Nice content, too. I'm amazed. I don't know if I want to show you the tank. Tank is just jacked up. Let me show you what the tank is going in this area, the fish area. Clean this all out, dig this all out. These will be underneath the fish tanks as a backup sump because there's clay right underneath that green part there because I dug it out before. The only reason why green stuff is growing there right now because the top fell in. So, all right. So, what that sump does too, if we happen to run into a storage issue, we got a backup storage issue for water as well as fish. So, this is going to be a two-part area because it's going to be an aquaponics system. And what you got now is vegetable produce food produce and vegetables. Forget it. Vegetables and fruit produce. And we got the fish coming in and we got fertilizer. And keep that in mind. Great fertilizer put straight in the ground from the goats. This here breaks down to I think it's nitrate to nitrate or nitrate. Now I gotta look it back up. Anyway, it's feces, good for the plants. It's feces, good for the plants. Their feces and their clawing techniques of the ground is good for the plants and aerates the soil when you're into this stage here of like this. It aerates, they're going out digging around and eating bugs and all that stuff. Very helpful. So you got helpers out here that's making money for you at the same time and providing food for your households. Now, the chicken, the fish. Here's where things get real funny here. It takes a little time, but not much. But when you get past a certain stage, let's just say 9 months to be nice, you put these fish in here, and yes, we use them tilapia. Tilapia are local here. They're not fake fish. Stop letting people tell you lies. They're fish that's from this area, okay? We have them, we eat them, we see them, they're there, okay? They have the most impressive growth rate and birth rate. So when they don't have a predator eating them, you got it going on. Okay, so just imagine one female in a colony, which colony will be set up of one male and 4 or 5 females, okay? One female a week. Yes, you heard me right, a week, and understand the process, okay? That one female will not be pregnated every week, okay? That's not happening. She gets recovery time. And since we got 3 holes here, let's use this as a stage to help you understand it, okay? Let's say one colony's in here. Okay, there's 4 females in here, 1 male. Let's go with that number, all right? One female, you notice all of a sudden it's not eating her food and her mouth full. You start to realize she's pregnant. They are mouth brooders, so they have the eggs in their mouth. So that's why she's not eating. You separate her however you want to do it. Pick her up or whatever, but be careful because, she'll freak out and spit out the eggs and maybe you swallow some. But when I give you the number, you're going to be like, what you worried for? Now, some people even take these, hatch them out their mouths, because basically all you got to do is circulate the water and keep it at a good temperature, and they will give birth themselves. Anyway, I ain't got the facility set up for all that yet. Probably coming though. Probably coming for real. Anyway, you take her out. Bam, you throw her in tank this hole too. Okay. This is the birthing hole. Okay. So she's sitting around there, she's spitting them out when they get bigger and all that. And then eventually she'll spit them out and not take them back in her mouth. And then there's a door between that tank and the one back there. But that door opens up to a screen that's only so big. Only the babies can fit through, not mom. Babies go through. Once you see all the babies go through, close the door. Mom's in here by herself. You feed mom for a week because she hasn't ate for a week. By herself. Get her good and ready. You throw her back in here. Now, more than likely, before you can get done feeding her, somebody pregnant over here. Somebody may be already pregnant. Keep that in mind. Section off this tank so you can have, space for. So there may be like I would say cut it into 4 sections because it don't need to be that much room. You know, you're seeing the dirt right there, but I'm taking it down deeper than this. So section it off into 4 areas, drop them, and that is your maternity ward, if you want to call it that. All right. Get mom's fed back up. Mom goes back in. Mom gets back in here and gets bred again. She's safe. It's okay. They can do that. As long as you make sure that she ate. Now let's get to the babies. Mom one, it's gonna call it that. Mom one produced 1,000 babies. Yeah, you heard me. At 3 months of age, she is fully fertile to produce about 1,000 babies. At 3 months. Okay? Keep that in mind. If she's an older one, 1,000 for certain. If she's even a little older, a little bit more mature, 2,000 per mom. So mom one produces you one. Let's go with the number 1,000. And this number is a high. I'm gonna say this is the average number. If you want to get really conservative, you can just simply say 100 if you want. But so you got 1,000. We're gonna just call it 1,000. I've been giving you all conservative numbers, so let's give you this one. Yeah. Man, this is a long video. Sorry, guys. But this is a good one. Informative wise, anyway. So check this out. You got 1,000 babies over there in 9 months' time. Yes, I said 9 months. Reality of it is, once you get your genetics down, your feeding regimens down, and everything, you can probably get 6 months. Maybe even I've heard of 3, but I'm not going to 3. I mean, if you can get 3 and it's a nice size animal, then of course sell it. Harvest rate, would be for each one would be about a pound, so a half kilo. Okay, you got 1,000 pounds of fish in that back tank. That's from mom one. Okay, for my U.S. people, for my non-U.S. people, that is 500 kilos. Did I say that right? Probably not. Yeah, I did. I said it right. So less than 500. You know what I mean? But now you think about this from a U.S. standard. You know, I think tilapia took a big hit. So you're selling them, I think, for $2 or $3 a pound. Well, fine. That's 1,000 pounds. What did I say wrong? I said that wrong. Yeah, 1,000 million. So let's just call it two. So you got 2,000 U.S. dollars in that bag. Now here, they normally sell them in groups of 5. So you got 1,000, and you divide that number by 5, and then you multiply it from any range of numbers. No, I'm gonna just say it. What I've seen, 400. You can sell tilapia here for $400 for 5, and those are not even big tilapia. So that's definitely harvesting rate. Weight. So, oh, excuse me, guys. Um, what is that? 1,000. Um, what is that? 200. Yeah, 200. Because you're gonna divide it by 5. So yeah, you got 200. 200 times 400. Oh man, what's wrong with me today? So there you go. 200 times 400. That's it's a number that's so big I'm scared to say because it just don't seem right in my mind. um, yeah, it is. I just don't believe that number, guys. I'm gonna do the math on it, but that sounded like 80,000, but that might be a little high. It ain't 8,000 though. So yeah, 200 times 400. Dang, that's 80,000. All right, yeah. So you got 80,000 in coming out of mom one, and that's selling all the fish. The reason why I say you selling all the fish, because did you just hear me say earlier that this woman got pregnant in a week, produced the babies the next week, was refed for another week, and back in there where 3 other females were already being impregnated? Yeah. You see what I'm talking about? You can mess around here in 1 week's time and have between what was it? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 to 8,000 babies being born in that week. Depends on how old the females, how healthy they are, and all that. You feel what I'm saying? You come out here with an entrepreneurial mindset. Switch your gears. Like I said, those right there, they just hold the line. These are the future. These are the invaders. These are the conquerors. You feel what I'm saying? You have a renewable resource. Use it. Now, you're thinking like, well, what about everything else? Okay, fine. We got the bananas over here. The bananas, a whole one of those there, whole cluster of bananas. Eh, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna tell you, but you can expect ranges between 500 and 900 velocities on those. But bananas have other means that you got to think about. You've seen me do it. I'm feeding in the leaves. I'm trimming the leaves up. If you notice, the first two lines are looking clear. I know that there's a wasp nest in here, so I'm going to kill this wasp nest first while I clear out this last line. And even then, I'm probably going to take those leaves and rinse them really good, and then before I feed them out to the goats. Now, after that, if you look at the bottom here, we got shoots. I'm going to transplant these shoots, bring them a little bit closer to this area here. We're going to fence this off so the goats won't be tied up soon. So they're going to be fenced from there over. So what happened, guys? You got 10, let's say you got 10 females. Let's do a quick recap. You got 10 females producing 4 each a year. That is what? 40 goats to eat and to sell. Let's say you eat, I don't know, half of that. Okay, so you got 20 to sell. 20 times, chicken crazy back there, man. 20 times, what is it, 3,000? Okay, so you got about 60,000 in goats when you got 10. Right there, 60,000 coming in off the goats. Move on. You heard the fish numbers. Do we need to go over that again? Let's go over the fish again. Your fish, well, no, the chickens. Now we're gonna go to chickens. You selling each one of them birds for 1,500 a piece, or you may decide to keep the eggs and sell them. 1,500 a bird. You have, what's a good number, guys? I told you I ain't in the mood, so let's just do 100. You got 100 birds over there producing chicks and all that, so that's 10. Let's just say 10 again. So you're gonna have what, 1,000 chicks at 1,500. Come on, man. That number, man. You see that number? You see that number? That's insane, right? Right. So and then the creme de la creme of the group, the fish. You feel what I'm saying? One female, after being 3 months of age, can be impregnated and produce 1,000 babies by herself. And you got her in a colony of 4 female harems to 1 male. This thing will now start to outproduce everything else out here. So why would I be so focused on inanimate objects that cannot reproduce themselves? But when I have a renewable resource, but you got to keep this thing in stages. People need transportation here. That's why they're here. That won't be all of them. This was the learning curve. We're beyond that point now. Now we know that. Now we know what we need to do. We're getting this thing working. We're going to push it. I'm finding different methods to make these make more money, including a potential electric conversion in the future. We're going to show you that video. Yeah, we're doing this thing. But while doing that, I understand that these are money makers. These guys here. You go from chickens, the goats, the fish, and then on top of all that, your produce. Start doing some targeting of your produce. Find out what your area buys. Find out what you can even ship out. But before you start dealing with a lot of shipping costs, customs, and all that junk, be supported by your area. Rice is one of the main things people eat here. Rice, groundnuts. There you go. And guess what? You start then coupling yourself together that makes better sense. What works good together? The fish do great in a rice paddy. You feel what I'm saying? These fish will feed the rice roots and all that will feed the fish. Then don't go just fish. You got other things out there that people don't think about too much, but they grow rapidly. Crawfish, crabs, shrimp. You feel what I'm saying? I'm laying my plan out there for you. But that's not my only plan. But also, this isn't about only me. This is about you. Come home. The motherland has endless resources. Come home. Stop playing this game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do it. I still do it. I still try to make living here like living in America. It's not. I'm sitting here making a YouTube video. Okay. You know how hard it was for me to ever take a couple of seconds just to sit still in the States? I can sit here and meditate. I can sit here all day if I wanted to. Guys, praise God. We do have a place to go back home to. We check in. We do have a place that we can go back home, call home. We do. The lies are not true. I guarantee, yes, there's some people. There's gonna be that small percentage of people that make the lie true. I've met a man who told me, "Hey, I don't really like your kind coming back here." I met one man, one. I told this same story to a Gambian woman, and she said, "Do not listen to him." Flat out, she said, "Do not listen to him." She said, "You have those few people that's like that, and it's just that they're so used to their colonizers being here." And I was like, when she said colonizers, I looked at her like, "Oh, Gambia's on that joint too." Yeah, Gambia's on that joint. Y'all don't really want Usman. Seems very light and quiet, and he is. He's light, quiet, and easy going. Don't let him start up. Don't let that little boss crank up on you, because you'll find out there's a lot of pro-black individuals here. They want their people back here. They're doing everything they can to make it happen. Guys, I'm gonna make an offer in the future, and I just hope it doesn't, you know, cause a problem for anyone. But to be honest with you, for people who got certain skills, certain talents, we're willing to open our doors up and let people come in and we build together. You heard me. You hear what I'm saying? Okay. Get on the channel. Click subscribe. Click like. Yeah, for some people, there is a Patreon out there, guys, and there is a GoFundMe for Jasabo Village. Go search for it. It's there. Jasabo is spelled Jasobo Village. Um, the problem, of course, is I'm in a stage where I can't put those links on just yet, or either I just don't know how. One of the but it keeps telling me I can't do it. So I think after I get past my first goal, you know what? Let's announce a goal. God, it's late in the video. I'll be doing this, but guys, we need to get beyond 1,000 likes, and we need to get beyond 4,000 subscribers. Did I say that right? I said that reverse, didn't I? I did. Sorry. We need to get beyond 1,000 subscribers and beyond 4,000 likes, and then we can see what we're working with after that. Because, like I said, these revenues are helping everything to grow. And I ain't gonna hide it from you. The more I grow, the more I'm actually putting out. You just heard me say I slaughtered a goat, and half of the meat we went out the house. And that wasn't the only thing we slaughtered. We slaughtered the goat and the sheep. Half of it went out the house too. We just sent a bushel of bananas to Bacau. We sent some bananas somewhere else right before that. Heck, we got a bushel going out down there to Talandine. So the neighbors come by, they need something, they get it. I do medical treatment, first aid stuff. One of the things, as a mechanic, I also had to be classified as a combat lifesaver. That's just what I did. It wasn't they asked people for volunteers. I was stupid and raised my hand, but you know what? It worked out. Uh, and so people come by here, they come with injuries. We help them out. We do a lot of stuff medical, herbally as well as medically. Because they can't sometimes afford or have the time to go to the hospitals. I mean, that's a whole nother process. You should see that. But look here, guys. You come in, you join up with us, you help us, we will help each other and help everybody. I'm talking about the Gambians, and then we're growing out. We're growing out. This here will look completely different in a year's time. Guarantee it. Completely. In a year's time. So Y'all get out here and help us out. And as you help us out, we helping everybody else out. Like I said, I think I showed you in the other video the kitchen that was built for the one that fell in, and it wasn't even half the size. It was a quarter of the size. The one that fell in, the one that got built, is 4 times bigger, man. We're not all about just taking them back to where they were at. We're trying to take them beyond where they're at so that they can grow themselves. She's selling charcoal. I mean, I ain't gonna go buy charcoal at the road. And more than likely, she won't charge me for charcoal. Matter of fact, let me find out because I don't even think she charged for that charcoal last night. She's still early and it ain't complete yet. She can't be just giving us that stuff for free. So we'll probably have to go over there and fight with Auntie about taking some money. She probably won't take it, but we'll work something out. Well, village, we'll try with one people. We are the change. Assalamu alaikum, people. Y'all have a good day.